Okay, right, so today what we're going to explain to you is efficiency and how efficiency is used to explain energy transfer, and also how we can use Sankey diagrams to calculate efficiency and also look at energy transfer again. So the first thing we need to know before we look at Sankey diagrams, we look at efficiency, is what is the law of conservation of energy, because that's going to be our fundamental rule that's going to be guiding us all the way through it. The law of conservation of energy states that all energy is transferred from one type of energy to another. Energy cannot be created, energy cannot be destroyed. It is only transferred from one place to another. When we look at efficiency, we're going to be looking at how much energy is going, or how much energy is being transferred into what we want it to do. Okay, that's the whole point. Right, so to do that I'm going to show you a quick example now. Okay, so what I've got here in the example is a windmill that will turn when a mass here, this brick, which is quite heavy, it's actually a weighted down Lego brick. At the moment, the system has got gravitational potential energy. Okay, so at the moment, how much potential energy the whole system has got is just basically how high the mass is above the ground. So we multiply the height it is above the ground by the gravitational field strength, 9.81 newtons per kilogram, and then we multiply it by the mass of the brick in kilograms. Now we're not going to calculate that, but we're going to look at the energy transfer. So when I let it go, we get the energy being transferred from gravitational potential energy into kinetic energy, and that's why it's moving, but also some of the energy is being transferred into heat loss in the cogs in the gears of the windmill. So to start off with, we had 100% gravitational potential energy. All of that gravitational potential energy is being converted primarily into two things. Primarily into the kinetic energy, which is causing the windmill to turn and for Lego Mr. Wrigley to slowly fall down to the bottom, but also it's been converted into heat as well. If we added up the total amount of heat energy and the total amount of kinetic energy, it should equal the same value of the potential energy that we had to start. Okay, so in the example we saw that the Lego had gravitational potential energy to start off with the mass, and that was our starting energy, our total energy going into the system. So that energy has to go somewhere. So our starting energy was gravitational potential energy. Okay, so 100% of that gravitational potential energy has to go somewhere else. In the example, we're going to say that 60% of the energy went into kinetic energy, and the other 40% was wasted as heat. Okay, so we've got 60% starting off as kinetic energy, 40% wasted as heat. Now we could do a calculation on that to work out the efficiency. Let's say, for example, we had 1,000 joules of energy to start off with. So we started off with 1,000 joules. I want to work out how much energy became kinetic energy. Okay, it was pretty straightforward. 60% of that is 600 joules. Now you might be given a more complicated example where you're given something like 425 joules to start off with. To work out how much energy is going to where we want it to go, or to work out the efficiency, we just use this equation. Okay, efficiency, and this is the point where my dyslexia kicks in and I try and spell efficiency properly. Efficiency equals the useful energy divided by the total input energy. Now we could leave that as a fraction. So in this case, the useful energy was 600 joules of kinetic energy, divided by the total input energy, 1000 joules. That gives me 0.6, or if I want to represent it as a percentage, I multiply all of this by 100. Okay, so that's how I calculate efficiency. Now we're going to be using that in a second to look at Sankey diagrams and how Sankey diagrams are used to calculate efficiency as well. Okay, so this is how you draw a Sankey diagram. I'm going to draw it with Lego because I have a lot of Lego lying around. So the only thing that we ever care about in a Sankey diagram in terms of the dimensions of a Sankey diagram is the thickness of the Sankey diagram itself. Okay, the Sankey diagram is an arrow that shows the flow of energy, where energy is going to. And the only thing we care about is how thick the arrow is. We don't care about the length. It can be really short, it can be really long. It doesn't matter. So in this case, what we're going to start off with is I'm going to say that 1 square equals 100 joules, or that 1 square equals 10% of the total energy. So at this point that means that I will have, for 100%, I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares thick. Okay. Now I can extend my arrow like so, and it doesn't matter, I can make this arrow longer or shorter, it doesn't really matter. But I'm going to break it into 2 parts. I'm going to first look at the useful energy of the fan. So that was the kinetic energy. I wanted the fan to be moving. So in the example I said that we had 600 joules of kinetic energy that is useful, or 60%. So I can extend my arrow a little bit further like this, and as long as I keep the thickness the same, it doesn't matter. So I've got 600 joules there of useful energy, and I'm extending the thickness like so. And then I can put a little arrow point at the end like so to show that that is useful energy. Okay, again, it doesn't really matter about the arrow, whatever style it is, just as long as it's pointy to show the job. Now this is the bit where people get a little bit lost, a little bit confused, and it's really important that we don't make a mistake in this bit. Okay, I want to show the energy that is being wasted, which is represented by the green here. That's going to go down and away. But to do that, you might see on some diagrams a little circular thing like that. Okay, it doesn't matter if you can't draw the circle, you can make this a rectangle. But what's important is that you keep the thickness of the arrow as it goes down the same as the thickness of what you had to start off with. So in this case, I had, in the example, 400 joules wasted as heat, or 40%. So it's really important, it doesn't matter how long this arrow is, what's important is that I keep the thickness 40% again, okay? And again, I can add some points if I wanted to, okay? So I had 1000 joules of energy to start off with going into the system, and I had 1 square, or one of these little, what are they called? Well, anyway, one of those little things representing 100 joules, or 10%, okay? So I started off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 squares representing 1000 joules, so 100 joules each, or each one representing 10%. And then at the end, I made sure that the thickness, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, was the same before and after, okay? That's the most important thing. A lot of people, when they're drawing this, they start to make this thinner or whatever, and they lose the fact that they need to keep the scale the same. That's the most important thing. And again, it's following the law of conservation of energy. The total amount of energy going in is the same as the amount of energy going out of the system, okay? And from that as well, using the equation for efficiency, I can work out the efficiency of the system. All I have to do is take the useful energy, divide it by the total energy. I can leave it as a decimal, or I can multiply it as a fraction, and we find that it is 60% efficient.